Howdy! Today's video will focus on graphing quadratic equations again. So, when given a parabola, which is what you get when you graph a quadratic equation, you have a vertex. The vertex is the bottommost or topmost point on the parabola, which is this point right here for this parabola. Next, you also have roots, which are the solutions to the quadratic equation. These are the points on the parabola that intersect the x-axis, or otherwise known as the x-intercepts. And those are the points here and here. You also have the axis of symmetry, which is the line that splits the parabola into two perfect halves. So that's the vertical red line right there. Finally, you either have a minimum or a maximum. The parabola, the equation is a minimum when the vertex is on the bottom of the parabola, and the equation is a maximum when the vertex is on the top of the parabola. So for this parabola right here, that would be a minimum because the vertex is on the bottom. Okay, so moving on. We have three different equations of the parabola, of the quadratic equation. That's going to be the vertex form, which is the f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And with this equation, it's really easy to find the vertex because you just take h, you take k, and put it in a coordinate pair, hk. Vertex found, done. Next, we have the intercept form. That's f of x equals x minus p times x minus q. You can easily find the roots with this equation. And that's going to be the form, well, first you find p, you find q, and put them into two separate coordinate pairs of p0 and q0. Roots found, done. Lastly, you have the standard form of an equation, which is f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Can't really find the roots or the vertex from this equation unless you graph it, but when you convert from intercept form to vertex form, or vertex form to intercept form, you'll always get your standard form. Next, some of you have asked how to find a from the graph. So, first thing you're going to do is take the vertex of your parabola, which is here for the left graph, and then find the next point on the parabola that crosses through a corner on the graph, which is right here. So now a will just be rise over run from the vertex to that next point. So from your vertex to the next point, it's going to be 1 on the left graph, and 1. So 1 divided by 1 equals 1. So a for this graph here is equal to 1. For your right graph, find your vertex, find your next point, rise over run, 2 over 1. 2 divided by 1 equals 2. So a for your right graph is 2. Moving on, converting to vertex form from intercept and standard form. So from intercept form, step 1 is to multiply the two binomials together. Step 2 is combine like terms. Step 3 is perform the completing the square process. And step 4, move the remainder to the other side. Now for from standard form of an equation to vertex form, just perform the completing the square process, and then move the remainder to the other side. So here's an equation of our intercept form, which is f of x equals x minus 4 times x plus 2. So we need to multiply these two binomials together. So you can either distribute them, use the FOIL method, use the box method, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and distribute them. So we first need to distribute the x into the binomial. So x times x is going to be x squared. X times 2 is going to be 2x. Then distribute the negative 4 into the binomial. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Now we're going to combine like terms. So x squared plus minus 2x minus 8. Now we need to complete the square. So go ahead and move your 8 over to the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to have x squared minus 2x equals 8. Now we're going to add spaces to the left and the right side so we can to help us complete the square. So that's going to give us x squared minus 2x plus space equals 8 plus space. Okay, now these spaces here are going to be b divided by 2 squared. So b is going to equal -2. So -2 divided by 2 squared equals -1 squared, which is just going to equal 1. So put 1 into both blanks. So that's going to give us x squared minus 2x plus 1 on the left side and 9 on the right side. Now we need to factor the left side to give us a perfect square trinomial. So factoring the left side, we're going to have x minus 1 squared equals 9. Then the last step is to move our 9 back over to the left side. So our vertex form of an equation is going to be f of x equals x minus 1 squared minus 9. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this equation right there, forgot to tell y'all, is the standard form of an equation. So technically we went from intercept form to standard form to vertex form. Okay? Next, converting to intercept form from vertex form and standard form. So for vertex form, first step is to multiply the binomials together. Second step is to distribute A. Third step is to combine like terms. Fourth step is to factor the trinomial using the x method. Then from standard form, the only step is to factor the trinomial. So let's go ahead and do an example. The example will be f of x equals x minus 1 squared minus 9. Okay, so now let's go ahead and multiply the binomials together. So x minus 1 times x minus 1 minus 9. Distributing the x, distribute the -1. X times x equals x squared. X times -1 equals -x. -1 times x equals -x. -1 times -1 equals +1. And then minus 9 on the outside. Second step is to distribute a. But is there an a for this equation? There is not, so skip that step. Third step is to combine like terms. So we're going to have x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now we need to factor using the x method. So x method, put an x on your paper, and the top will be b, the bottom will be a times c, and the left and right side will be a fraction divided by a. So we need to find a, b, and c. So a will be 1, b will be -2, c will be -8. Oops. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fill out our x. That's going to give us a -2 on top. A times c is going to be -8 divided by a, which is just 1. These spaces here will be the factors of -8 that add to -2. So let us get the factors of -8. So -8 factors to 1 and -8. -1 and 8. 2 and -4. -2 and 4. So which one of these adds to -2? 1 and -8 equals -7. -1 and 8 equals 7. 2 and -4 equals -2. Bingo. And -2 and 4 equals +2. So we're going to have these two there. So inside our spaces, our blanks will be 2 and -4. Now, so the factored form of our vertex form will be x plus 2 and x minus 4, because our 2 goes into this spot and our 4 goes into that spot. Okay, so we pretty much solved everything for this equation. We have our standard form here. So we went from vertex to intercept and standard to intercept. Alright, so next is converting to standard form from vertex and from intercept, which we technically have on these past two examples. We went from intercept to standard and vertex to standard. So we really don't need to do this either. Okay, so from vertex to standard, just multiply the binomials together, distribute a, combine like terms, done. For intercept, multiply the two binomials together, combine like terms, done. Alright, so thank you all for watching. That's all, folks. I'll see you in class.